Once associated with stunning beauty and renowned television series such as Dynasty and Melrose Place, Heather Locklear was the pinnacle of small-screen elegance. Millions of people loved her brilliant career and reputation as a Hollywood darling. Behind the glitz, however, was a tale no one could have predicted. Turbulent highs and lows that seemed unbeatable, as well as dark corners that drove her to the edge. Heather Locklear became the center of controversies that distanced her from the public, ranging from complicated and tumultuous romances to struggles with addiction, depression, and startling claims of her death. Arrests, court cases, and the breakdown of her impeccable reputation made her name a warning about the darker side of Hollywood. At one time, she was simply mentioned as a dim star, buried deep in her personal troubles. How she returned, however, is the most unexpected turn in her tale. In spite of everything, Heather Locklear came back to prominence as a representation of tenacity, stronger, more lucid, and more focused than ever in her personal and professional life. Why did she emerge from the shadows and return to the light? Why is this voyage so dramatic? Let's examine Heather Locklear's tale, which is a monument to the never-ending conflict between light and dark. On September 25, 1961, Heather Dean Locklear was born in Los Angeles, California. Heather, the daughter of production executive Diane and retired Marine Corps Colonel and UCLA Senior Administrator William Locklear, was raised in a home that valued inspiration and discipline. Her father gave Heather a solid and encouraging base by serving in a number of important roles at UCLA, from secretary to head of the Office of Residential Life. Because of her mixed English, Scottish, German, and Lumbee origin, Heather's history gave her background a distinctive depth. Her great-grandparents, Duncan Locklear and Nancy Quick, were from South Carolina and represented the family's cultural and historical heritage via her father's side of the family. It's interesting to note that Heather's father's side of the Locklear family also makes her a distant cousin of Marla Maples Trump. Heather went to Newbury Park High School while growing up in the Californian community of Newbury Park. She had aspirations of joining the cheering squad when she was there, but she was not successful. When she joined the school's theatrical club instead, what seemed to be a setback ended up being a godsend. Heather found her love for performing there, a passion that would eventually influence her whole life. Following high school graduation, Heather enrolled at UCLA. Heather soon discovered that the arts were more her calling than a standard academic career, even if many of her friends were more interested in academics. Despite her short tenure at UCLA, she was able to get modeling jobs for the school's advertising. She was able to get more revenue and gain notoriety for the first time because to this event. As if she already knew she was going to be a celebrity, Heather's childhood classmates remember her standing in front of a mirror, rehearsing her acting, and smiling intensely. "Every time I stood in front of a camera, I felt like I could be anyone," she once said. Her family anticipated she would pursue a more traditional and steady job path, but following that desire meant battling their expectations. Heather Locklear had a modest but unquestionably promising debut in the television industry. She had a brief appearance on the television series Chips in 1980, marking her acting debut. Even though she didn't spend much time on film, it was her first chance to feel the energy of a set and the thrill of acting in front of the camera. When she attracted the notice of Aaron Spelling, the renowned producer of many successful programs, she made her big break. At the age of 20, Spelling cast her as Sammy Jo Carrington on Dynasty in 1981 after seeing her innate charm and emerging skill. Sammy Jo was a difficult role to play because of her wits, slyness, and irresistible charm, which meant Heather had to convey a range of emotions. She also delivered. Her performance swiftly established her as a rising star and defined her acting style, becoming a series highlight. With her starring part in TJ, Heather kept viewers impressed, appearing alongside William Shatner in Hooker, 1982. The combination of drama and action in the play allowed Heather to showcase her range as an actor. Her depiction of a young, resolute, and very caring police officer demonstrated her versatility by striking a balance between intense action sequences and poignant moments. Interestingly, Heather was among the rare performers of the time to have regular roles in two popular TV shows at the same time. From the glitzy and crafty Sammy Jo in Dynasty to the tough, likable police officer in TJ, her image became a weekly fixture for millions of fans. Hooker. A fellow actor once said, "Heather isn't just beautiful. She has this remarkable ability to make you believe every line she delivers, every subtle gesture she makes." For a young actress, this rigorous schedule was no easy task. However, Heather used it as a chance to establish her worth. She established a new benchmark for female television actresses of the era, in addition to having a successful career. Because of her skill, unwavering work ethic, and unrelenting effort, Heather Locklear's name was well known by the early 1980s. Like a machine, her career was accelerating, building momentum, and getting ready for the amazing discoveries that were still to come. Heather Locklear's portrayal of Amanda Woodward on Melrose Place, 1993 to 1999, was the apex of her career. In addition to being a strong, incisive character, Amanda was also a representation of self-assurance and audacity. A person who inspired both awe and curiosity. Heather made Amanda the focal point of the series by giving her a certain refinement and charm. Heather's reputation as one of the most remarkable television talents of the 1990s was cemented when she received 4 straight Golden Globe nominations for her role. In addition to making Heather an A-level celebrity, Melrose Place's extraordinary success won her a place on People magazine's list of the 50 most beautiful people in the world in 1994 and 2001. Her on-screen persona, which was marked by elegant attire and sophisticated charm, became a distinguishing characteristic of the time, establishing her as a representation of both acting prowess and a cutting-edge way of life. In addition to her work on television, Heather created a name for herself in movies including The Perfect Man, Money Talks, and Firestarter. Her ability to move fluidly between serious dramas and fun comedy was shown by these performances, but not every decision she made worked out. Heather declined the part of Sarah Tobias in The Accused in 1988, which went on to earn Jodie Foster an Oscar. Although Heather has publicly apologized for her choice, she sees it as a worthwhile professional lesson. Beyond movies and TV, Heather gained recognition on well-known programs, including Scrubs, Saturday Night Live, and Muppets Tonight. She maintained her significant presence in the entertainment sector by bringing her natural charm and new energy to every engagement. The conclusion of Melrose Place marked the beginning of a sluggish period in Heather's career. Projects like C. Jane Run and LAX didn't live up to the hype. She did, however, continue to be prominent via guest appearances, such as her reunion with Charlie Sheen in the 2004 episode No Sniffing, No Wowing of 2.5 Men, which reignited their chemistry from Spin City. Additionally, Heather saw a resurgence of popularity with Lifetime original films such as He Loves Me, 2011, Flirting with 40, 2008, and Angels Fall, 2007. While Angels Fall, which was based on Nora Roberts' best-selling book, became one of Lifetime's top 10 most-watched pictures ever, Flirting with 40 was one of the network's top 3 most successful films. After years of stagnation, Heather said that these assignments not only helped her succeed, but also reignited her passion for acting. In addition to being a gifted actor, Heather Locklear is a master of reinvention who has persevered through every phase of her career. She has managed to hold on to her popularity and viewers' affection in spite of obstacles and disappointments. Heather's success goes beyond accolades and well-known parts. It comes from her capacity to adapt and flourish in a harsh field where only the resilient make it. When Heather Locklear, who was praised as a television sweetie at the height of her career, started dating Tommy Lee, the rebellious drummer of Motley Crue, her life took a drastic turn. Often referred to as two worlds colliding, their relationship not only captured the public's interest, but also turned into one of Hollywood's most turbulent love tales. Backstage during a REO Speedwagon concert was where it all started. Tommy, who was 23 at the time, was enthralled by Heather's captivating charm and brilliant beauty. He asked his buddies to introduce him to her since he was too afraid to approach her directly, despite the fact that she was 2 years his senior. A frenzied relationship was sparked by that fateful encounter. Heather couldn't resist the impromptu and romantic moment when Tommy proposed to her in a limousine when they were traveling across California, only 3 months into their relationship. In front of 500 guests, the pair exchanged vows at the Santa Barbara Biltmore In May 1986, Heather shone in a stunning mermaid-style wedding gown, while Tommy stood out in a white leather tuxedo. Their first kiss as husband and wife, a daring statement of love that defied social norms, marked the conclusion of their 40-minute, non-denominational ceremony. They started their married life in a whirlwind of passion and Hollywood glitz with a 3-week honeymoon in the Cayman Islands after the wedding. However, there were simmering problems underneath their idyllic facade. As a representation of elegance and family values, Heather was at odds with Tommy's bad boy image, which was characterized by excessive drinking, drugs, and partying. Tommy's rigorous schedule caused the pair to spend more time apart, which further affected their relationship. Heather's discovery of Tommy's adult film star adultery was the tipping point. Heather's 7 turbulent years of marriage came to an end in 1993 when she filed for divorce, unable to forgive his deception. Following their divorce, Heather concentrated on changing the way others saw her. She put all of her attention into playing Amanda Woodward in Melrose Place, which helped her become a television celebrity. Tommy, meantime, pursued well-known partnerships, such as one with actress Bobby Brown. Tommy made news 4 days after splitting from Brown when he decided to wed Pamela Anderson, only 96 hours after they first met in Cancun. In addition to its speedy beginning, Tommy and Pamela's turbulent marriage soon became the subject of tabloids due to the ensuing problems, which included the notoriously leaked sex video and instances of domestic abuse. Tommy was given a 6-month prison term in 1998 for attacking Pamela during a fight while she was holding their baby son. Tommy's streak of high-profile romances, including one with singer Sophia Tufa, continued after their divorce. Due to their roughly 30-year age difference, his 2019 marriage to Brittany Furlan also attracted notice. Even though their marriage ended bitterly, Heather and Tommy managed to look back on their history with a feeling of calm. The surprising gesture suggested emotional reunion with their shared past. In 2016, Heather shocked followers by sharing a picture on Instagram that would have marked their 30th wedding anniversary with the comment, "Happy 30 years, baby." With its love, treachery, and heartache, Heather Locklear and Tommy Lee's marriage continues to be one of Hollywood's most tragic tales. It perfectly captures the fierce conflict between two very different worlds, the raw rebellion of rock and roll and the refinement of television. Even though their romance was far from ideal, it remains a memorable part of Hollywood's past that always evokes wonder and sadness when it is re-examined. Do you believe that their glaring differences and errors made their split unavoidable in the end? We'd love to know what you think of this dramatic connection, so please leave a comment. Heather Locklear started a new chapter in her life after her turbulent marriage to Tommy Lee, looking for stability and serenity. At a gathering in Los Angeles in 1994, she ran upon Bon Jovi's famed guitarist, Richie Sambora. They fell in love right away after their unfortunate encounter. Heather discovered in him a remarkable warmth and honesty, and Richie was enthralled by her soft beauty and self-assured manner. Soon after, the two started dating, and a few months later, they made the decision to tie the knot. Their wedding, which took place in Paris, the city of love, on December 17, 1994, was romantic and not unduly lavish, signaling what seemed to be a good start to their relationship. In 1997, Ava Sora, their daughter, was welcomed. Ava became the source of their happiness and a connection that supported Heather and Richie as they dealt with the demands of celebrity. While Heather took great satisfaction in her job as a mother, Richie once acknowledged that being a parent had a tremendous impact on him. But beyond the glitz, long simmering tensions emerged. Both physical and emotional isolation was caused by Richie's frequent absences from Bon Jovi's tours and Heather's juggling of her job and their daughter's needs. Their relationship was stressed by these widening gaps. Richie was so shocked by Heather's abrupt divorce filing in 2006 that he first denied it to the public. After almost 10 years of marriage, the pair finally decided to call it quits in 2007. Although Heather subsequently acknowledged that the choice was difficult, she realized it was essential to safeguard both her and her daughter's happiness. Following her marriage to Richie Sambora, Heather seemed to turn to her old Melrose Place co-star Jack Wagner for comfort. In the early 2000s, their on-screen bond turned into a romantic relationship. Jack was sympathetic and tried to console Heather since he had gone through grief in a previous marriage. The audience was taken aback when Heather and Jack announced their engagement in August 2011. After the emotional wounds from her previous relationships, it seemed like a new beginning for Heather. But there was soon a lot of controversy about this affair. The couple unexpectedly canceled their wedding preparations a few months later, and their split was anything from cordial. Rather than ending their relationship amicably, they became involved in public arguments that escalated to a domestic abuse incident. Police were called after Heather was accused of assaulting Jack during a dispute. Heather's already shaky public image was further damaged when the event became a hot issue in the media. Even though it ended badly, Heather's tense relationship with Jack Wagner highlighted the difficulties she encountered in pursuing her own happiness. Heather's life has been a succession of highs and lows, with the glimmer of celebrity often followed by the shadows of heartache and controversy, from the beautiful wedding with Richie Sambora to the turbulent love affair with Jack. She has, however, shown to be very resilient and remains a symbol of fortitude in the face of life's and love's relentless hardships. Heather Locklear's life was characterized by tragedy and extreme upheaval pertaining to mental health, addiction, and legal issues, in addition to the highs and lows of her personal relationships. Heather struggled with alcoholism, prescription drug misuse, and despair underneath the glitzy exterior of celebrity, all while being closely monitored by the media. Her difficulties came to light in 2008 when her doctor, concerned that she could be trying suicide, phoned 911 in an emergency. The episode aroused serious concerns about her mental health, even though it was ultimately determined to be non-critical. Heather willingly put herself into a medical facility in Arizona on June 24th, only a few months later, to treat her sadness and anxiety. Her private life became public chatter once the news of the therapy was leaked, despite her best attempts to keep it confidential. Her recuperation, however, was brief. After being seen driving erratically in September of the same year, Heather was arrested in Santa Barbara for driving while under the influence of prescription medicines. She was accused with driving under the influence even though testing revealed no evidence of alcohol or illicit substances. In return for the DUI charges being dismissed, she entered a no-contest plea to careless driving in a Santa Barbara court on January 2, 2009. Despite escaping prison time, the act significantly tarnished her reputation. Heather's life was plagued by many controversies in the years that followed. Her automobile swerved off the road and into a ditch on September 14, 2017, causing her to be engaged in a major car accident in Thousand Oaks, California. Thankfully, Heather's injuries were mild, and there were no traces of alcohol or narcotics in her system. But the disaster seemed to portend more sinister things to come. A few days later, on September 25, 2017, her 56th birthday, Heather was taken into custody at her residence on suspicion of assaulting police officers and domestic violence. After seeing Heather and her boyfriend get into a furious quarrel, her brother had called 911. Heather got belligerent when the police arrived, which resulted in 3 charges of assaulting emergency personnel and domestic violence. The public was stunned by the episode, which sparked worries about the actress's instability. After beating her boyfriend and police officers during a similar incident in 2018, Heather was jailed once again. She was admitted to the hospital shortly after being released due to a suspected drug overdose. Her illness reportedly worsened as a result of her repeated refusals to accept assistance from friends and relatives. Heather also struggled with her physical health. She was treated for a bacterial illness at a Los Angeles hospital on December 1, 2010. She struggled to recover control of her life as a result of the series of catastrophes. Heather shocked witnesses with a drastically changed appearance during a rare public appearance in Calabasas. There was conjecture over her health or possible cosmetic operations due to her bloated face and half-closed eyelids. A plastic surgeon was called by dailymail.com, but no signs of Botox or surgery were discovered. The pictures immediately went viral and brought up memories of Heather's previous battles with addiction and mental illness. Her altered look raised doubts about her true recovery, even though she was candid about her addiction. After all the upheaval and struggles, the rumors brought to light the extreme difficulties that celebrities like Heather endure. whose every alteration becomes the subject of public discussion. It has been tough for Heather Locklear. Do you see her as someone responsible for her harmful activities, or as a sad character who is suffering greatly? Leave a comment with your ideas. Your thoughts on this very complicated and contentious issue would be much appreciated. Even if Heather Locklear's life was turbulent, her influence on American television history is still strong and indisputable. Heather was more than just an actor. She represented a certain period. She reshaped the ideal of the contemporary female character, strong, self-assured, and not hesitant to take on obstacles head-on with her captivating performances. In addition to making Heather the face of serialized television drama, her performance as Amanda Woodward in Melrose Place established the foundation for multifaceted female characters on television. Amanda was everything not the stereotypical meek or soft-spoken female protagonist. Rather, she was astute, aspirational, and unreservedly motivated to succeed. This audacity broke the stereotype of female characters on television at the time and established a standard for the strong, multifaceted women shown in subsequent shows. The success of Aaron Spelling, the innovative producer who influenced American television in the 1980s and 1990s, was also closely linked to Heather's career. Playing important parts in iconic programs like Dynasty and Melrose Place, Heather's skill and charm made her Spelling's muse. Thanks in large part to Heather's efforts, these programs continue to rank among the most recognizable in television history. She established her adaptable and long-lasting presence in the entertainment business, with noteworthy performances on popular shows like Saturday Night Live and Muppets Tonight, in addition to well-known movies like Firestarter and The Perfect Man. But Heather's cultural resonance in American culture is reflected in her legacy, which goes beyond her roles. Heather demonstrated that women could demand attention as compelling and strong protagonists at a period when Hollywood seldom let female characters take the lead in a story. Her character's nuance and complexity, in addition to her physical attractiveness, captivated spectators and helped them feel a strong feeling of empathy and connection. Beyond only her roles, Heather Locklear has influenced a new generation of actors and female characters that value depth, independence, and ambition. Her brilliance, tenacity, and the enduring cultural influence she had on television and society are all shown by her legacy. After years of suffering, Heather Locklear found hope in a tragic relationship with her high school love, Chris Heiser. At California's Newbury Park High School, Heather and Chris were a popular pair who shared fond recollections of their early years. However, life took them in various paths after college, and for over 40 years, their romance fell into obscurity. They reunited at a trying time in Heather's life, when she was dealing with personal turmoil and mental health issues. At a party hosted by a mutual acquaintance, they reunited when Chris, who had been seeing Heather's struggles from a distance, went over to talk to her. Instantly, sparks ignited, and as if no time had gone, the memories of their early love came flooding back. They used to look so same that others would make fun of them for being siblings, Heather joked as she recalled the incident with comedy and passion. She smiled brightly as she said, "Chris even spent as much time on his hair as I did." Through mutual understanding, their relationship became stronger underneath the humorous tales. Heather needed a companion who could accompany her on her path to recovery, and Chris had entered her life at that very moment. After years of adversity, the pair formally reignited their affection and declared their engagement in 2020, marking a major turning point for Heather. Not only were they reunited as ex-lovers, but they were also two grown-ups prepared to confront life's obstacles together. And she characterized the reunion with Chris as, like finding a missing piece of my life. In addition to reconnecting emotionally, Heather made a commitment to her own healing. After battling addiction and despair, she has achieved a remarkable feat by staying sober for over 3 years. Social media images of Heather grinning with Chris, family, and friends show the calm she has embraced. Apart from reconstructing her personal life, Heather has returned to the entertainment sector. In 2021, she returned to the big screen in Don't Sweat the Little Things, the Christine Carlson story. In addition to signaling her professional return, the movie demonstrated her renewed inner strength. Alongside original cast members Laura Leighton and Daphne Zuniga, Heather will reprise her role as Amanda Woodward in the upcoming relaunch of the beloved Melrose Place, which CBS Studios announced in April 2024. The goal of the resurrection is to bring the series to a new audience while maintaining its timeless appeal. For the first time in over 3 years, Heather appeared in public at 90s Con in Daytona Beach, Florida, in September 2024. She reconnected with her Melrose Place co-stars and took part in private panels to talk about her career, life experiences, and memorable performances. Heather most recently featured in Mormon Mom Gone Wrong, the Ruby Franca story, a Lifetime movie that debuted on October 26, 2024. In the real-life criminal case of family vlogger Ruby Franca, she played the role of Jodi Hildebrand, a deceptive marital counselor. The unsettling incidents that resulted in Franca and Hildebrand's arrest and conviction for serious child abuse were examined in the film. Rebirth is evident in Heather Locklear's present life, where she has discovered herself in love. Her narrative with Chris Heiser, from the storms of the past to the sunshine of the present, is not only a tale of fated love, but also a potent reminder that genuine love might take time to find its way back home. The sharp contrast between the glittering glamour of Hollywood and the dark side of the spotlight is personified by Heather Locklear. Heather has shown that, with enough perseverance and faith, anybody can start again after setbacks and losses. Her story sends a strong message about the ability of people to overcome hardship in addition to exposing the severe demands of celebrity. In addition to being a television celebrity from the 1980s to 1990s, Heather also represents tenacity and unrelenting work. Please press the subscribe button to get updates on our upcoming engaging content if you like tales about Hollywood icons and want to discover more emotional journeys. I'll see you in the next videos.